Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see Viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Alright, so here's another Echis leucogaster, a white or yellow belly sawscale viper from the Middle East. Now these were captive born and bred here. He was eating pinks, but has decided now, probably because it's a male, that he would become very picky in what he was going to eat, and has decided right now that he prefers geckos. And you know, it's a whole different ball of wax, and trying to force feed one of the eyelash vipers. This snake at this size could potentially kill you. The eyelash viper would just ruin your week, and even without treatment, although I do have antivenom for both species. This snake would definitely require a trip to the ER and perhaps a vial of antivenom to counteract its bite. And right now, again, because of COVID, Lori and I don't think it's a good idea to go anywhere near a hospital, as our good friend Dr. Spencer also told us on a post on National Snakebite Support. So I've got one gecko left over. So we'll give this to this young pygmy rattlesnake, which I acquired from a friend. Hello, how are you? Would you like this? Huh? Would you like this? Oh. Well, I think that was a definite yes. This is Cistrus milarius, a South Florida pygmy rattlesnake baby. Again, it was captive born and bred. Pygmy rattlesnakes have one of the most toxic, nasty venoms of all the rattlesnakes. If they were the size of, you know, your average, you know, rattlesnake, if they grew to be, you know, 2 or 3 foot long, they'd be right up there with the eastern diamondback and western diamondback and Mojave for potency of venom. They're very potent. These guys also, at this size, in the wild, they eat centipedes, which is quite the feat, because centipedes are quite formidable creatures. So, you know, you got to hand it to them. But there is a documented peer-reviewed published paper where a pygmy rattlesnake ate a Florida centipede and got it down, but it wasn't dead yet, and the centipede chewed through the snake's abdomen and tried to escape, and of course they both ended up dying.
Ew.
But it was quite the picture to see. So we're going to close this and let this little guy do his thing, and we're going to move on. Okay, so these are Bitis Cordalis horned puff adders, and this guy also preferred geckos, but he has recently decided that mice are okay too. These guys are not really medically significant, although you will definitely lose a chunk of finger. South African polyvalent antivenom really is not effective, although no real scientific study has been done to see, you know, what its neutralizing capabilities actually are. It may neutralize some of the snake's venom components, but not all of them. I don't think there's a perfect antivenom, just like there's not a perfect vaccine. Your antivenoms may, ideally, you want an antivenom that will neutralize the vast majority of the most toxic and dangerous components in the venom, because we know venoms are made up of several, and that I think is an understatement, probably anywhere from 10 to 30 or more different proteins and enzymes. And the snake venoms, the antivenoms, really to be effective, usually will only neutralize the most dangerous components. And there was some discussions in some papers on targeting antivenom production to just get the most dangerous and lethal components, and this way you could have a more universal sort of antivenom. So he looks like a little happy camper right now, but we won't tempt fate. So even though I might give him another one, because I've got leftover pinks, because I tried that gecko spit on one animal, and that's I'll just get them switched one at a time. But we've got the female Venus Cordalis that we can visit with, and she absolutely loves mice. Oh, look at her! She's right here in front. She's like, oh boy, I'll take that from you, Mr. Viperkeeper. And that's your typical girl. It's Chowhound City. So I've got, some leftovers, and, these are perfect snacks for these guys. So I will give them what I have left, and we'll call that their meal for the weekend. Mark them off my feed list, which we talked about in an earlier part of the video, if it actually appears in the video. During the production process, we shoot lots of video. You only see really sort of a fraction of the videos that I actually take. Some videos just never make it because I really can't fit them in. I try to keep some sort of storyline going. I just don't necessarily, just throw pieces together. I try to, except for the mixed bag, I try to keep everything sort of organized, neat and tidy for everybody. And as you know, I've shortened the video length typically down from 20 minutes to 12 minutes because during the times of COVID, we're not working with the animals very much. We don't take animals out of their cage unless it's absolutely necessary and requires some sort of either the cage cleaned or a vet procedure. So, I don't have a whole lot of video, but some of this video just never sees the light of day, and probably never will. It goes into the archives, but this is the female Cordalis. I don't think I will ever breed them. Number one, because Vitis Cordalis have this bad habit. The females will usually eat the male after copulation, and that's a very expensive meal. These animals cost, anywhere up over $750 and higher, depending on if and when you can get them. These were all captive born in Europe and had to find their way here through the normal legal channels, through U.S. Fish and Wildlife importation and stuff, because they can't be taken from the wild in their native countries anymore, in theory. But these came in legally from Europe as captive-born animals. But so the male will probably never ever be in the same cage as the female. And having bred these before, the babies are insanely small. I thought baby Eckes were small. These are even smaller, and I'm not willing to deal with that. So that's just the breaks. I bred them once. I'm not going to do that anymore.